Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining for our special webinar on studying optical technologies and mechanical engineering in Germany. Another webinar from the series of subject webinars where we have guests from German universities. And you can see that we have lots of guests today, which is really great. And we have 3 programs and 3 universities, guests from 3 programs and 3 universities. So dear attendees, this is another chance and another great opportunity to you to ask your questions directly to the representatives of the programs and to get best possible answers for them. So in order to do that in a right manner, I would suggest you to pay attention to the bottom part of your Zoom interface where you can see the Q&A button. And this is the place where you can send your questions throughout the whole webinar to our guests, of course, and then they will either answer them as soon as possible, in the chat, or I will collect these questions and we will have a brief live Q&A session towards the end of our webinar. So stay tuned and send your questions as much as possible. And by the way, my name is Georgi, and today, together with Annette, my colleague, will be the least important people for today's webinar. We will be moderating, and yeah, we have our guests whom I will present also shortly. But before I do that, I would like to ask Annette to briefly introduce herself, MyGermanUniversity. Then I will share with you guys some interesting information about studying in Germany, and then we will jump into our most important part of today's webinar. Thank you very much. And I think we have already first question, which is great.
Perfect. Thanks, Georgi. A warm welcome also from my side to everybody, to our guest speakers and to our participants. I am, as you can see in the background, also from the MyGermanUniversity team. I'm a student counselor and I'm almost working 2 years for MyGU. And my part in this webinar will be, as Georgi said in the background, you can submit your questions. I will answer especially the general ones. So I recently finished my master degree, so I'm really close to the university life and all the administrational stuff. Yeah, by the way, I studied international cultural and business studies, so it's not really related to the topics we have today. Even more, I'm really glad to have these experts with us from different cities from Germany. Okay, and now to let you know who is the host behind this webinar, we from MyGermanUniversity are a startup, and the mission is to help international students on their way to come to Germany. So how do we do this? In different manners. The first task is for students who want to come to Germany to find out what can you study here. There are more than 2,000 programs only in English, so imagine the amount of German programs included. Therefore, you can find the study finder on the MyGU page. I will post you the link in the chat, so keep an eye on that. It has a lot of options, so I recommend you after the webinar to take a look on that, and there you can play a little bit. Then we have more than 70 comprehensive articles for different topics, like for general topics that are valid for all international students. And then, as you hear, we have webinars. We have webinars for scholarships, application processes, and these special webinars where we invite professors, experts from universities. They present their programs. It's the best way and chance to ask direct questions. I'm also in charge of our email account, so I often get requests about specific programs, and then I always tell the students you have to contact the university directly because they have first-hand information. So it's great that you're here. Here you can see our team. We have also new team members. And we are an international team with different languages. All of our team members somehow are connected or related to German higher education systems. A lot of them studied in Berlin, in Bremen, and other cities. I'm one of the only ones who was born and raised in Germany, I think. Okay, so we have a lot to do today, so I will pass the word over back to you, Georgi. Say goodbye, and let's have a good webinar.
Thank you very much, Annette, for this wonderful introduction. And let me also quickly jump into my part. And I promise it will not take long. So yeah, you know the topic. Let's move forward. And let me first introduce to you agenda and some details. So yeah, as I said, we have guests from 3 German universities. We have guests from Leibniz University of Hannover. And our guests will present the program, master level program in optical technologies. We also have guests from Coburg University of Applied Sciences and Arts, Dr. Inga Emmerling, and she will present a program, again, master level in analytical instruments, measurement, and sensor technology. And last but not least, we have also a guest from Karlsruhe Institute of Technology, Stefanie, and she will also, again, master level program. She will present a program in optics and photonics. So before we jump into this interesting part, let me quickly tell you some couple of things about studying in Germany. So what I want you to know also from my part, that there are two databases that you should know when you're searching for programs in Germany. So if you are more into German taught study programs, then I would say Hochschulkompass would be your start, your stop. I would like to ask Annette if you can please share in the chat the link to the Hochschulkompass. So there, when you search for optical technologies and mechanical engineering, you will be able to find 770 degree programs, and only 58 of them will be in English. Maybe not fully in English, partially in English, but all is included in this 58 number. But if you are more into English taught study programs, and I suppose most of you are, if not all of you, then MyGermanUniversity and our study finder, which was mentioned by Annette, is your stop, should be your stop, because we have 93 degree programs for optical technologies and mechanical engineering in English. 15 of them, there are 15 bachelor programs, 75 master's programs, and out of 15, 9 are English only, and out of 75 masters, 50 are English only. So the choice is really great, and this is really nice. For those, our suggestion for those who do not know yet what is it about to study mechanical engineering or optical technologies in Germany, and they want to create an idea, to have an idea of, for example, what to expect in terms of fees, of rankings of universities that are offering these programs in these fields, application, admission, language requirements. So all the things, very general information, but at the same time, really important one as a first step. So we have subject pages for each subject that we have presentations on and webinars on. So for example, subject page on mechanical engineering and optical technologies is separately. And I think Annette has already shared the links in the chat, but if not so, please, Annette, whenever you have time, share these two links with our guests. And I think it will be really helpful. Also from my side, our pro tip would be, where we always hear the students are, of course, they want to get into the best program, the best fitting program for them, but sometimes they are relying too much on rankings and too much on city names or stuff like that. So, which is not always the right approach. This is what we think, because the rankings cannot always capture all the exactly the details that are important for you as an individual student, prospective student. So, of course, the universities that are presented in the rankings, in the world-known rankings, are really nice ones, high-quality universities offering high-quality programs. But in Germany, actually, there are lots of cities, lots of towns, and lots of universities subsequently that really offer great, high-quality programs, and yeah, they should not be missed out. But in the rankings, if you follow only rankings, you may miss them out, and you may miss out the best fitting programs for you. So in order to avoid it, my suggestion would be to not rely on this kind of quantitative metrics a lot, and yeah, more individualize your search a little bit more. Also, what I want you to know, there are two types of universities that you should know about. First type university is Universität, or just university. And you can filter for that, by the way. You can filter in our study finder for the programs which are offered, programs in optical technologies and mechanical engineering, which are offered by this type of university, and you'll be able to find 33 programs in this field. And the second type of university that I want you to know is University of Applied Sciences. And when you go to our study finder, you'll be able to find 41 programs that are offered by these types of universities. So of course, you may then ask, what is the difference between university and University of Applied Sciences, Georgi? And my answer would be that not that much of the difference, but what I want you to know is that both are high quality. Of course, they are both great types of universities. The only thing is that maybe the focus that might be interesting for you. So in Universität type of universities, focus is more on research theory, and University of Applied Sciences focus on more on application and practice. This is what I want you to remember from my part. And last but not least, another suggestion when it comes to searching the programs, in order to not miss out any program, I would also like you to be more flexible in terms of wording when you search for programs, because sometimes students are really strict in terms of wording, and they miss out, really miss those programs that actually might be the best fitting their interests and their backgrounds, etc. All right. Let us move now to our special guest, and as I promised, the most important part of our today's webinar. So as I said, we have guests from Leibniz University of Hannover, and they will present a master's level program in optical technologies. And just to locate you in Germany, where it is, you can see, yeah, it's in central north of Germany, I would say, and not far from me. So you can see my city also on the map. I'm in Bremen. So yeah, it's quite sunny here today, but not always like that. And I'm sure in Hanover, the weather is similar. Okay, I will stop here and invite our guests to the floor.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for our introduction. And yes, we also had the sunny weather today, and we hope it stays the same. Into it. And hello, everyone. So we have this honor to present information about our master program, Optical Technologies at Leibniz University Hannover. Yeah, so before getting into our program, I thought, why not to jump into a city, and let me take you on a short tour of our very beautiful city. Hanover is the capital of Lower Saxony, and Lower Saxony is one of the biggest states in Germany. And Hanover proudly wears the title of the city of trade fairs, green city, and a city of royals. So as I said, it wears the title of green city. We have a Stadtwald, which is also called like a city forest. Yes, we have forest in the middle of the city, which is almost 2 times bigger than central New York Park. Like normally we hear that forest surrounds the city, but in Hanover, it's opposite. City surrounds the forest. You can see it here in a picture here on the right side. It's an island reader, and the forest is full of the activities. And also the world's oldest traditional festival, Schützenfest, also called Shooting Festival, that was first organized in Hanover back in 15th century. And Hanover, as I said, it's a city of royals. So we have still the gardens of the kings, which are being taken care and are open to public, and Hanover is an international city. So who are we? So me and my colleague Nishad, we both are from the Dean of the Study Office. We look after the master program at Dean Office along with our wonderful team. And we both have also studied optical technologies. So we are here to present you our study program. So moving before the study programs, about some facts about the Leibniz University Hannover. It is one of the TU9 university with over 29,000 students from over 119 countries and with 150 institutes in it. Concentrating on our international core research areas, which are quantum optics and gravitational physics, also optical technologies, biomedical research engineering, and production engineering. So why we concentrate too much on optical technologies and quantum optics and gravitational physics, that you will get to know later on the path. So this is our wonderful main campus, Leibniz University Hannover. Yes, you might be thinking it looks like an old palace. Yes, it was a palace. It was built as a palace, but never used as a palace. So we have a university inside it. And here, this is one of the most advanced campus, like newly built campus. It's a mechanical engineering campus that we have at the Leibniz University Hannover. So jumping straight into the study program that you might all have been waiting for to get the information. So the optical technologies at Leibniz University Hannover actually is divided into 3 different parts. And before that, it's mainly categorized into our main category, a German taught program and an English taught program. A German taught program is further categorized into for the students who have done their bachelor in physics, who are physicists, and the one who are from mechanical engineering background or the similar. And in an English taught program, we call it a photonics and laser technology. So these are our specialization field that you will get to know later when we will discuss about our course or module plan. So there are 5 different specializations field: optical measurement technology, laser technology, biophotonic, technical optic, and applications in automotive, and optics in production and energy technique. So starting, as I told you, we have 3 different paths. We call them paths in the study program. So very first is for physicists, which is a German taught program. So the module plan looks like this. in the very first semester. So you have a total of the four compulsory module. So those are all from a mechanical engineering background. For the people who are coming from a physics, the reason for it is that after completing your compulsory modules, that everyone who is coming either from a mechanical background or from a physics background, so they all are on the same level, so that they can choose their specialization, they can choose their optional compulsory modules or an optional module from the same level. So that's how it is structured. So moving to the second part, that's for mechanical engineers. So they have 3 compulsory courses, but they all are from physics, so that they also have some knowledge, some base to come on a same level from a student who is coming from a physics background. So here also you have 3 compulsory courses, you have compulsory modules, you have optional modules, and then you have master lab, you have internship, you have project, then you have master thesis. And then what we offer very specialized is tutorium or studium generale. So that's a very general module in which students have option to choose course from all the courses that are offered at Leibniz University. So that means it shouldn't be from mechanical engineering, it shouldn't be for any specific course. So you can even say, okay, I want to study, we say, one course from a law, right? The basics of law for engineers. You can have that course in it. So it's just like a one flexibility that we provide to the student, that you can just get one course from any other faculty or from the whole course catalog from a whole Leibniz University into your module. So that's moving to our third part. So that is for photonics and laser technology, our English taught program. So in that, again, we have 4 compulsory modules, which are the basics of optical technologies, design and simulation of optomechatronic system. So this course is for the students who later want to go in automotive lighting or to do research in the field of automotive. So then we have photonics, optical measurement technology, or a laser spectroscopy in life sciences. So in this module also you have optional modules, but in this module you do not have optional compulsory modules. So here you just have compulsory and optional modules. And then you again have master lab, student project, internship, thesis, and again studium generale. And here in the English program, you have more options. Like in earlier, you had just 2 credits for the studium generale. So that's a course that I explained earlier, that you have an option to get any course from any faculty to study. In here, you have the 4 credits for it. So you can either take 2 courses for two credits, or you can take 1 big course for 4 credit points. So here is our very first QR codes. Like if you want to really look into our course catalog in a detail, which all courses we offer during our masters, you can scan the QR codes if you want to study the German track, if you want to study the English track. The moment you will scan this code, you will be directed to the PDF. So those both are course catalog for academic year 21, which we are currently in. And because we always keep updating our course catalog, we really try to stick to the new research topic. We put in new courses, we remove old courses, so that our students, they are always up to the date. So just looking at the perspective blick, because many students who are always, we get a question in our consultations like, okay, what I can do after my master's, or in which field I can work, because laser is a very vast field. You can go in any industry nowadays, or in a coming future, laser will be used overall. So we just try to explain it with this diagram. It also describes the basics of optics, where the white light gets split into 7 different colors. So you have an option to go into automotive industry, medical industry, imaging industry, space industry, entertainment industry, communication industry, and also you can do your doctorate. And we are also specialized in that. As I said at the early, if you remember, that our international core topics are quantum optics, optics, and biomedical research institutes. Why? Because we have our own research institutes for optic, and those are not only in Germany renowned, they're also world renowned. We have Laser Center Hannover, we have Production Center Hannover. So these are the both which provide solutions, or which do research in the field of mechanical and automotive, in imaging, where the laser used as an application, we can say, or optics are used as an application. And then we have knives. So that's a Lower Saxony Center for Biomedical Engineering and Implant Research and Development. So this is where the biophotonic comes into place. So biophotonic is a field where you use laser in the field of medicine. So you combine laser with a medicine field to come up with the solutions to create new sensors, implants, or to regenerate organs, or to create therapies just for like cancer. Like I have my specialization in biophotonics, and I also did here in the knife. And then we have upcoming, I think it's only one of its kind, Opticum. It's an optics center and campus. So it will be whole campus just for optics. And it's still in the building, but it will be finished in 2 to 3 years. And along with that, for us, it's really important that our students who go outside, who have more experience and who interact with the other country students. So we also offer a program called With Leibniz Around the World, where you have an option to travel to other country for a 1 semester or for your internship, where you can just explore new culture, new land, new language, and all those courses that you will be attending there, that will be the part of your master program. So now moving to the main part, admission requirements. So basically we divide it into a 3 category. So our academic requirement is you should have a bachelor in engineering, or you should have a bachelor in physics. So that's like a very, I will say, general requirement that we have. So moving to the language, we always ask for a valid C1 level certificate. So here is a QR code. Like when you will scan this, you will be directed to a web page where there will be the list of all accepted C1 level certificates for English and also for German. So one thing here to note is we do not accept medium of instruction certificate. So for us, even if you did your bachelor in English, we never accept that certificate, because there are some universities which accept, but we really keep it tight when it comes to the quality of our program. And along with that, if your national language is English, we still need a C1 language, unless your mother tongue is English. So there's a difference between having a mother tongue as an English and having a national language as English. So we really keep a check on it. So moving to our like credits requirements, for the person who is coming from an engineering background, they need to have 15 ECTS in mathematics, 15 in technical mechanics, 27 in the combination of electronics, material science, design and construction, and 8 either in optics or in physics. So here is one important part. These are ECTS. So it can be that your university have just normal credit points. These are European credit system. So if your university provides a conversion factor, a certificate along with that, so your credits then will be converted into ECTS by us. And then for someone who is coming with a physics background, so they need to have 15 ECTS in math, 5 in technical mechanics, and 45 in physics and optics. So here is one like official document on admission requirement. You can scan it. We also have it in English. So it is called a Zulassungsordnung. This document is always approved by a ministry, and all admission requirements are always written in it. So everything that will be decided on your admission will be based on this document. Our application period for non-EU will always be through UniAssist. So for the summer semester, it goes from 15th of October till 30th of November. So that means it's already over. And for the winter semester, which will be opening very soon, will be from 15th of April to 30th of May. So we try always to send our admission letters as fast as we can, so that you as a student have a lot of time to go through the whole visa process, because we know that in some countries there has been visa problems in the past. So here at the end, we have our contact QR code. So the moment you will scan it, it will save as the contact in your phone with our email ID and our website link. So you can always write us an email if you have any query. You want to have query about your admission, about if you're not sure if this language certificate will be accepted or not, or even after getting into the university. This is whole the team Optical Technologies. We provide every consultations to the students. Like every week we have a number of Skype sessions. We have our own events after every like 1-2 months to keep the students updated, where we always try to help the students as much as we can. And here are the QR codes for our Instagram, for website, like mostly our mechanical faculty from mechanical, we always keep updating when the deadlines are open or when like an application period is open, when we have, when you can apply, how you can apply, or when we have some new program, we always put information on our Instagram and also on our website. So you can just scan the code and you can follow. And we wish all you the best for the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this really nice presentation and for touching upon all the important points and important aspects for international students. Thank you very much. And yeah, and then we'll ask some questions in the live Q&A session. So let us move now to the second speaker then. And yeah, as I said, we have a guest from Coburg University, Dr. Inga Emmerling, who will be talking about presenting a master's program in analytical instruments, measurement, sensor technology. And yeah, you can also see the city on the map. Not to make my presentation too long, I will stop here and invite Dr. Emmerling to the floor.
Hello, everybody. I'm really glad to present our program here. Maybe it's not so focused on optics like the previous program, but still I would like to share my screen and introduce you to our program. So our program is called Analytical Instruments, Measurement and Sensor Technology. And I also want to give a short introduction to our city. Coburg is not as big as Hannover, but it is a really nice historic city. Here also a map where you can see it's situated nearly in the middle of Germany, and traveling you can go in 2 hours, you're in Berlin, and with the fast train you can also go to Munich. It's a beautiful, medium-sized and very safe historic city in the center of Germany, and as I said, 2 hours only from Munich and Berlin. We have a very modern campus, modern buildings. It's easy to reach. It's nearly all walkable distances. And as I already said, it's a safe place to study. This is our team here. Our program director is a physicist, Professor Michael Wick. And I'm one of the coordinators, and my colleague Andrea is the other one. And we help you all along with all problems you might have here in Germany. Below, you see our lab team, because we are a University of Applied Sciences, and we focus very much on putting hands on. So our lab team, as you can see, is quite big, and you can get direct contact with the material. Why did we do this program? We saw that in former times, sensors and measurement techniques are very much used in the industry, and nearly every industry branch needs sensors for measurements in the production line. And the number of employees in sensor business is growing, and it's still growing after a bit lower employees in 2020. I think that was because of Corona, but now it's already rising high. So you have a good perspective after finishing our program to find a job here in Germany. Our program has a duration of 4 terms. We have 1-term lectures in Coburg in winter semester. We always start in winter semester. Then you can switch to Shanghai or Siena. Normally it's up to you, you can choose it. But at the moment, only Siena is possible due to Corona. China does not allow international students to enter China, so you cannot get visa. But hopefully, maybe next year or in the year after that, we have again the possibility that you can go to Shanghai, because this is also a very good option, especially if you want to look more deeply into optics. Then you have 1 internship term, which is highly appreciated by the students, because they get in contact with German companies and can do their first step in their career. The last term is for your master thesis, which most students also do in a German company. Since our program is not consecutive, so it means you do not study directly after finishing your bachelor, you need work experience for being able to study our program. Therefore, we have to take tuition fees, and it's 3,900 euros per term, plus a service fee of about 110 euros, which includes a bus ticket for moving around in the whole city of Coburg, and also for nearby cities like Bamberg or Bad Rodach. In the end, you will be awarded with a degree Master of Engineering. In our program, you will get the best of very different cities like Coburg, and if possible, Shanghai, which is a very lively and very modern, very crowded city in comparison with Coburg, but students always enjoy their stay in Shanghai. In Shanghai, we work together with the University of Shanghai for Science and Technology, and within this university with the School of Optical, Electrical and Computer Engineering. This school hosts an academician of optics from the Chinese Academy of Sciences, and it has the National Optics Lab. So in Shanghai, optics is very good represented, only at the moment not available due to Corona. Last year, we started a new cooperation with an Italian university in Siena, which is a full-fledged university, and you can get some Italian lifestyle. And this is a very old university. It has about 20,000 students, and it's a very beautiful historical city in Tuscany. So in this program, you can get the best of Coburg, and you decide between Shanghai or Siena. Now, the criteria for this program are a bachelor degree in engineering or natural sciences with above average marks. You need to have, as I already said, 1 year of working experience, which is very important because to find an internship, your working experience counts a lot. So companies are always looking for good work experience from the students, so it helps you a lot. It would also be good if you have some intercultural skills because it helps you to get along in Germany as well as in China or in Italy. Of course, you need to have some good English skills. We also look for kind of UniCert or TOEFL tests, but also for us, it's possible if your bachelor program was already in the English language, we can accept it as English skills for our program. The teaching language of the program is throughout the whole program in English, also in China and in Italy. You will get along with your studies, you will be able to learn some Italian. And if you want also some Chinese, Mandarin, we offer language courses for that. But of course, in the program is included German language. So if you go for an internship, it's always good to have some German skills as well. Here you can see our modules. In the Coburg modules are computer-based measurement, sensor technology, and mathematical data analysis as main courses, and German, which is also included in the program. So you learn some German to get along. For the electives, you can choose chemical sensors or methods of instrumental analysis, image processing, industrial reliable, also optical methods and technologies we offer. And also, for example, we have external lecturers for instrumentation for nanoscience. For example, this professor is still working in industry, so you get to know latest industrial tricks for instrumentation for nanoscience. So he's still working at the border to industry. For the courses in Shanghai or Siena, this is a more bit you can choose. They are more or less all electives, and you can choose, for example, digital embedded electronics for smart industries. This is a very big course with 9 ECTS, but you can also choose to have smaller, like photoelectric detection or sensors and microsystems. And altogether, you have to combine it so that you end up in the end with 24 technical credits plus German language. So you have 30 credits in your second semester abroad. Your third semester, you have to apply for internships. Normally, students do their internships in companies in Germany, which give them some really good insight how German companies are working. For this internship, you get 21 credits. And your final semester is project work and master thesis. Also, this master thesis is mostly done in a German company. And often the practical internship is your first step into the company, and you get in contact. And if you do a good job, normally the companies also offer a master thesis to you. Our practical project during the first semester is always connected with building something. So practical experience is asked for. You do some soldering, and you learn how the sensors measure distances, for example, or lights or colors. We also visit altogether the SPS EPC Drives Fair in Nuremberg, which is very interesting for, to see latest technology. The project work this year was a Nebo burger, as you can see in the Yappa pictures. And also we offer some German history and culture. So you get away with some knowledge about Germany. Since we are a University of Applied Sciences, our focus is on practical parts in our program. So for nearly every lecture, there's a lab part. We have a sensor laboratory where you learn about different kinds of measurements. Our computer laboratory, where you can learn about computer-based measurement techniques. And also for example, for chemical sensors, you do some experiments in the chemistry laboratory. We offer language courses in German, Italian, and Chinese. So you can gain some basic language skills in the language of our partner countries. And normally, we have also a buddy program for our students. We do some barbecue nights and intercultural training. We visit the Christmas market together. Due to Corona, we could start this year our program, but in the end, it was difficult to get all together. Also, our farewell breakfast, we were not able to do it this year when students moved over to Siena. They moved over last week. So we were not able to invite the buddies for this farewell breakfast. But we also do some cultural excursions, for example, to nearby Bamberg, which is a very beautiful and rich cultural city. The specialty of our program is this practical internship, 3 months or longer, that depends on the company. You get help from AIM's office for your internship applications, and you get paid by the companies between 500 and 1,000 euros per month. Sometimes students are lucky and they earn 1,400 euros per month, but that's quite seldom. Here you can see a map where our students did their internship, and some of them started their internship, for example, in Continental, and now they ended up working in Continental. So this internship can be your first step for a career in Germany. In Coburg, we also help our students to find accommodation. This is a student dorm here on our campus, and we apply at the dorms for rooms for all our students who come here. So you do not have to search on the free market for a room for you. We get a room for you in our student dorms, and this is a 3-minute walk from the dorm to the lecture hall. So you can sleep as long as you like. Finally, our students who finished our program, these are some examples where they are working now. As you can see, there are a lot of global players, and mostly people do not know what company Brose is, but Brose has its headquarters here in Coburg, and they say that every third part in the car is from Brose. So they do seat systems for cars and window systems. So this is also a good start for your career. I would like to thank you now for your attention. And if you have questions, you can contact us via email or check out for our Instagram account or Facebook. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this super informative presentation. Yeah, you actually answered really lots of questions that students usually have and they have today. Yeah, thank you very much. But there are some that we will address still during the live Q&A. So let us now move to the third speaker for today. And now we are moving more to the south of Germany, to Karlsruhe. So we have guests from Karlsruhe Institute of Technology, Stefanie, and she will talk about, as I said, about optics and photonics, again, master level. Let me stop sharing the screen. And yeah, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Okay, so last but not least, I would like to tell you a little bit about our Masters of Optics and Photonics program at the Karlsruhe Institute of Technology. It is a part of the Karlsruhe School of Optics and Photonics, which is a graduate school where you could also do a PhD after your master. The Karlsruhe Institute of Technology is one of the excellence universities within the excellence strategy of the German federal government. And at the moment, there are around 24,000 students here, 3,100 researchers. And this seems like a really, it's a lot of doctoral researchers, as it is also the research university in the Helmholtz Association, which allows it to have a slightly different funding scheme. For university, this funding is quite high with almost 1 billion euros, and it's from state funds, federal funds, and other third-party funds. The focus of the KIT lies in research, teaching, and builds a bridge between a research center and a university. There are quite a few different KIT locations, not only in Karlsruhe, where most of us work, but also, for example, in Garmisch, if you are more interested in climate research, or we also have a campus in Suzhou in China. As part of the Helmholtz Association, there are offices in Brussels, Moscow, and Beijing. Karlsruhe is not the biggest city in Germany, but we are located in a strategically very, very interesting location. And we are close to a lot of German leaders in the field of optics and photonics. So within 10 kilometers, you reach Polytech's headquarters. There is a Bosch only 8 kilometers from here. Daimler is a lot. It's a big distance of 75 kilometers, same as Porsche. They are both in Stuttgart. BASF is close by, and the Daimler's biggest truck plant in the world, in Wörth, is less than 20 kilometers away. You can actually easily commute from Karlsruhe to many of these places. So there are some famous alumni at KIT, going from the very beginnings. It's Heinrich Hertz, who showed the proof for electromagnetic waves whilst he was working at KIT, to a more recent one of our graduates, who Isabel Staude, who after her doing her PhD at the Karlsruhe School of Optics and Photonics is now a professor at the University of Jena. But also Alexander Gerst, who is a German astronaut, quite well known, who studied geophysics at KIT. One of the strongest suits of KIT is its close connection to industry. German-wide, we are ranked #1 in employability, and worldwide, our students are ranked 36 by the QS employability ranking as being employable. We are in the Times Higher Education, we are #4 in Germany. And what I think is a pretty nice thing to say about a German university is we are strong in research, which most universities are, but our knowledge transfer is also very good and very high, but to industry mostly. The graduate school, of which the master's program is a part, was funded in 2006, so it's 16 years now. It was funded within the first German Excellence Initiative. And nowadays it has almost 900 members, including current and former students and doctoral researchers. It's a cooperation of 17 KIT institutes spanning from physics, chemistry and life sciences, electrical engineering and information technologies to mechanical engineering. And nowadays it's no longer a third-party funded project, but sustainably funded by the state of Baden-Württemberg. The CASOP, the research in the doctorals, in the graduate school, as well as the master's program, is divided into 5 research areas, which are closely connected to each other, spanning from very, very basic research, for example, in photonic materials and devices, to very, very much applied research in optical systems and solar energy. Interdisciplinarity is one of the key factors in CASOP on both the level of the master's as well as the PhD program. Here you can see some of the examples of what is being done in different research areas. And you can see in order for a car to be able to drive autonomously, it needs good eyes. And for this, for example, cameras and computer systems are developed. Lab-on-a-chip systems for biomedical applications. We all know how important photovoltaics are, and this is done in research area 5. They work on perovskite semiconductors. High-speed optical communication. There is more and more data, and we need to transfer it from one place to another. 3D laser nanoprinting is in many ways still basic research, but there are some applications. And LIDAR is also, once again, important if you want to have a car that doesn't crash into other cars. It's one way to measure the optical distance between 2 cars and do so in record speed. The master program is a 2-year program, so it's 120 credit points. We take 40 students per intake, and it's completely taught in English. Usually there are around 30 nationalities represented there, and you can choose one of the 5 specializations which equal the research areas within the Karlsruhe School of Optics and Photonics. There's a low tuition fee, so if you're from Europe, you only have to pay for the study fee, which is around 200 euros. If you're from outside Europe, it's 1,500 euros per semester. We have an industry internship program. We offer scholarships, and the start is every winter term, and the application deadline is April 13th. So you still have 6 weeks to apply. Here you can see who we are looking for and how you would study. So our students have bachelor degrees in the natural and engineering sciences, ranging from physics via mathematics, computer science, biology, chemistry, electrical engineering. The most important part is that within those very different degrees, you acquired a profound knowledge in mathematics and physics, and that is 12 credit points each. And then after, as you can imagine, with a group of such diverse degrees, the first semester is usually spent learning about getting everybody on the same level in optics and photonics, in so-called adjustment courses. Then in the second semester, you study the core subjects in optics and photonics, and then you can choose whether you do your internship before you choose a specialization or after you choose a specialization. It is always a question of how long do you want the internship to last? Would you like to take a semester-long course, or would you like to do it in only 3 months? Do you already know which is your specialization, which you want to choose? Or would you like to use your internship to maybe have a look if that part of industry is something that you'd be interested in? But the choice is yours. In the 3rd semester, you choose your specialization from one of those 5, from photonic materials and devices, quantum optics and spectroscopy, biomedical photonics, optical systems, or solar energy. And then in the 4th semester, you can do your master thesis. And there, once again, for some people, they decide to combine their internship with a master thesis. Others decide to do their master thesis at a research institution. The choice is yours. And after that, after 4 semesters, you finish with a Master of Science in Optics and Photonics, and you are well prepared to either continue a career in academia, do a PhD, or move directly into industry. We have a scholarship program with our industry partners. So they offer scholarships and a mentoring program. So aside from the money, you would also gain a mentor in the company. And never underestimate how important that is for your career. You would have somebody on the inside, you would be offered, you would have a chance to see new applications earlier than maybe others. You would have somebody who could advocate for you within that company. You would also have access to industry lectures and the internship opportunities. We have a program which was born out of the very, very strong knowledge that digitalization is here and is here to stay. And it's an exclusive training program with 3 of Germany's bigger companies, either Bosch, Daimler, or Zeiss, where you spend about 2 weeks working intensely on one project in one of those companies. It's a hands-on experience. You would have practical experience directly and immediately. You would see what are today's challenges and look and work on solutions to these challenges. It's also a way to build up your own network of industry contacts and get in contact with a potential employer. And if you do very well with this, most often you might be also offered a master thesis in the company. What do you need to apply for our program? We need a copy of your bachelor degree, CV in English, letter of motivation in English, which clearly shows why you want to study a master's in optics and photonics in Karlsruhe. 2 recommendation letters from professors of your current university who know you well. If you're from China, Mongolia, or Vietnam, an APS certificate, English language proficiency, if English is not your mother's tongue. But for example, if you've done all your studies in English, that will also be accepted as proof of English. And please don't hesitate to send us certificates about additional qualifications that show that you have done some work in the area of optics and photonics. So if you've done an internship in an optics company, add that. If you were the president of the Optical Society of your university while you were a bachelor student, add this. This shows that you're really interested in this topic, that you are willing to work in this, and that can only strengthen your application. As the Karlsruhe Student Office, we offer support for you, and this includes, for example, we have a campus where you can rent a room. If you have any issues with your visa, bank account, insurances, the famous question, why do I need to pay for TV in Germany? And yes, you do need to pay for it. We organize company excursions. We help you with your applications in Germany. There's some intercultural trainings because there are some things that are different between different countries, and we organize also get-togethers for you with other students from previous years or the new students, depending on which part of the degree you are in. We also have a student chapter of SPIE. It's called Oscar Students, Optics Students Karlsruhe. They are a network that promotes optics and photonics, both within the university and to the general public. You can find them on Facebook, also all they offer and all activities they offer. what do our graduates do? So pretty much, if there's a company that I've mentioned, there will be a lot of our alumni, but they move to bigger companies and they move to smaller companies. They do PhDs and postdocs. They work as optical engineers, international project managers, both in their home country and in even a third country after living in Germany. Software developers and systems architects, quality managers, or also in technical sales. If you are not sure if you are interested in these topics, we this year will be offering a summer school on printed hybrid photonic and electronic structures, enabling technology needs of today and tomorrow. It costs for 2 weeks 600 euros, and the DAD would then cover, after your participation in the program, your travel costs. So you could spend 2 weeks in Germany, having 2 meals a day, staying in a dormitory, having amazing lectures, doing some fun activities around Karlsruhe for 600 euros. So why come to Germany? So our campus is marked with a KSOP, and you can actually walk to the KIT campus, and you walk through our Schlossgarten. You can see the Schloss, which is a really nice place, and also the home turf of the KSC, our local football club. And it's not just work in Karlsruhe, it's also you actually get to, it's a fun city to live in. So we have very, very different sports that are offered around here. There are clubs that build cars at the university. The Alps are only 3 hours away. If you're into skiing, there are a lot of lakes around here. There is a big meetup that's called the Fest. It's a music festival that obviously has not taken place over the last 2 years and will not take place this year, but we are very, very excited to see it back in Karlsruhe in 2023. And it's a very walkable or bikeable city, so you don't need a car to get from one place to another here. So why come to us? Why study here? You will find excellent professors. You will be located at an excellent C university in Germany. You will have access to the research center, which allows you a very, very different lab experience working on research that is usually not done at universities. It's an international environment, low tuition, we offer career workshops, and you will have a very strong link to the German industry. So if you have any questions, you can reach us via Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or just write very, very traditionally an email to info@ksop.kit.edu. So thank you very much for your attention, and if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you very much to you for all these details, all this information. And yeah, regarding the questions, now I would open the floor for the Q&A. And yeah, let's do that right now. I collected some questions, summed up some questions, and here are, I would say, 3 questions that I would like to ask all of you. Yeah, they were addressed to a certain extent, but still. So regarding the GPA requirements, so CGPA, for example, could we say exactly if they are these GPA requirements and strict requirements, what they are? And for example, if let's say the GPA requirement is 2.3 German system and the student has 2.4 according to German system, is it, does the student, should the student like say, okay, it doesn't matter if I apply, I will still be rejected, or you are not that strict in this regard? So let's start maybe with Karlsruhe. And then let's move forward to others.
Okay, so we don't have a strict GPA. We look at the entire, we have a holistic view at the application. So if your grades are not that amazing, but you have work experience or practical experience in optics and photonics and can write a really, really convincing letter of motivation, that would get you in as well.
Great, thank you very much for a clear answer. Let's move maybe to Coburg now.
For us, it's nearly the same. Of course, we look for the marks. We look for good, average, good or better. But also, if you're not that good and you have good work experience, then we try to accept.
Okay.
because it's also more a whole personal thing. If the person is, we also have an interview with each applicant. So if we accept the applicant for the studies, there's an interview with one of our professors. And if the impression is good, we can accept the student.
Okay, yeah, thank you for the information. And Leibniz University.
So we always say that grade does not define the potential of a student. And because we know that international students coming from countries where they might not have bachelors for optics or that has to do with the laser. So we have structured our whole course in such a way that we build everyone from the base. They start with the basics and they go into advancement. So the grades are not the thing that we look into. We just look into these requirements that we told at the starting with the credit points in each and every subject.
Okay, yeah, good to know. Thank you very much. Let's move then to the second question. So all of you really brilliantly explained without leaving potential any questions in terms of this language requirements. So who can study, what do we accept, etc., etc. But there's one question I would like to ask you all. So can, for example, a student send a language certificate after the deadline? Because some programs give students some time to present the certificate a bit later. Do your programs also allow it? Now let's start with Leibniz.
In our case, because our process is through UniAssist, so we always say that because we know that IELTS or some other language certificates of English, they are valid for 2 years. So we always say if you have the old one, expired one, you just send it through UniAssist, so your application get through it, or you just contact us directly. So once you are admitted into the university, like once you get the admission letter, so then you have a time till the date of enrollment. So we always have a date of enrollment, like for summer semester, we have 30th of March, and for winter semester, we have 30th of September. So then you have to present us a valid certificate till 30th of either March or 30th of September, depending on the semester you are starting study with. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's good to know that students can also send some older certificate. It's really important information. Thank you very much. Dr. Emmerling?
Yes, since we have this interview with one of the professors, we can also see if the communication is good. So it's no problem for us if you send the certificate later.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. And yeah, please, Stefanie.
Same here. There is an interview, so the English language is tested that way, and then you have time until the end of the first semester to hand in your certificate.
Amazing. So really flexible, really nice. I feel good for students.
Georgi, just a point to clear, like they can send an old certificate, but they still need to send the update till the enrollment.
Yeah. It was quite clearly stated. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Nice, good to know. Also regarding the deadlines, all of you mentioned some deadlines, and just to make points clear, because it's not only international students, but also the students from EU, and very often students have this some programs have different deadlines for EU students and for international students. Is it also the case in one of your programs or not? Now let's start with Coburg.
Yes, it is a point, because international students need more time for visa issues. And therefore the deadline for international students is a bit earlier than for EU students.
Okay, good to know. Thank you very much. Stefanie, please.
We actually have the same deadline for everybody, 30th of April. It's quite early in order to accommodate international students because of the common visa issues.
Yeah, thank you. And Leibniz University.
We also have the same deadline, but we have one option for the students who are already in Germany. They can apply for the master program when they have 150 credit points in their bachelor. So that till they get enrolled, they have to produce the bachelor certificate, because sometimes they are writing their bachelor thesis or they are busy in doing their internship. So that's an option. Only one option that we give, but the deadlines are same.
Okay, good to know. So yeah, I said there was 3 questions, but as we have time, I will ask one more question to all of you. Regarding work experience, it was mentioned by all of you, and I think it exactly 1 year, which was mentioned by Coburg, but still, could we all of you once again repeat like what are exactly how many months or years of experience is needed from students? Also, sometimes some programs I've heard about it that they require specifically experience after the bachelor degree, not during the bachelor degree, if it's also the case at your program. And yeah, are you very strict in this regard? If the person has 10 months experience and you require 1 year, will this person be disregarded because of it? Let's start with Karlsruhe.
Okay, so we don't require work experience actually. We strongly recommend it, but we count every kind of experience you've had. So if you've done an internship during a bachelor's degree, perfect. If it's in optics and photonics, even more perfect. If you've worked after your bachelor's, we like to see that as well, but it's not a requirement.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, Leibniz University.
For us, we do not ask for any work experience, but if you have that, there is an option through our internship department. You can replace your work experience with the internship, because you might have seen we have 2 internships. One, we call it like a basic internship. So that is 8 week, and the main internship, so that's 12 week. So actually, this is very common in Faculty of Mechanical. We always ask for basic internship. So your work experience can be replaced, either your basic or your main internship, or a combination of both.
Yeah, great. Thank you. And Coburg.
Okay, for our program, it's really necessary to have work experience, at least of 1 year. If you only have 10 months, we can think about it. If you have some kind of plan how to manage to get these 2 missing months until the end of your program. Normally, it's quite easy because our practical internship is only of 3 months, and often companies offer a longer internship. So you get the work experience during your master program, and you have to present it at the end of the program, at least 12 months. But if you have less, let's say only 6 months, then it will be difficult.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Thank you very much. All right, that's really amazing. Let's now close the Q&A session. And yeah, I want to thank all our guests for these wonderful presentations and really clear-cut answers. It's quite rare to have this really, I mean, no questions left after the webinar. For me also, everything was super clear. Thank you very much. Thank you for attendees, for your questions, for attending the webinar and sending out your request in the Q&A. So if you have more questions to one of the programs, you are always welcome to, as you can see how friendly and flexible they are, you can always send them questions and they all share the contact details with you. And if you have any general questions about studying in Germany, of course, you can send these questions to us. Our email is info@mygermanuniversity.com. Please, Annette, if you can share it also in the chat. So yeah, we are also friendly and flexible, and we will also get back to you as soon as possible. And yeah, if you also, it would be nice to hear from you guys, our attendees, feedback about today's webinar, what you like, what you think we could improve for our future webinars. Yeah, and you can also leave your feedback on our Facebook or on our Google, and Annette will shortly share with you direct links in the chat as well. All right, I'll stop sharing my screen. And once again, thank you very much. I enjoyed the webinar. Thank you, Annette, for moderation and for dealing with the chat and Q&A. And yeah, I wish you all a really nice evening. Thank you and bye-bye.
Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you.